The Golden Knights' point streak ends in Anaheim on Sunday night with a rare regulation loss to the Ducks 4-2. We break down the VGK loss on Sunday and Saturday's shutout win over the Colorado Avalanche on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights.
Your Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
It's the beginning of a brand new week. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. Find us wherever you get your podcast, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel that is Locked On Golden Knights. We are brought to you today by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account. Use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off of your first purchase. Chris, Sunday night, Golden Knights losing in regulation in Anaheim. It was the first time since last March in Edmonton, and their streak of points in consecutive games for this season, it ends at 12. The Ducks scoring 4 goals in 5 shots in the third period as they erased a 2-0 Golden Knights lead. Barbashev and Eichel scoring goals for the VGK. Bruce Cassidy afterwards was talking about the back-to-back, yes, their second of the season. He said he was not dissatisfied, however, with the team's effort in that loss. He said there were no major breakdowns, which was pretty good on his end. He called it one of VGK's best defensive games of the season. He also said that some pucks had eyes for Anaheim, citing that maybe perhaps there was some puck luck involved. Hey, the only puck that I know that has eyes is Peter Puck, for crying out loud.
I back that up. So Cassidy's comments about the game were spot on. Starting by the third period, his comments were that Anaheim had 3 high danger chances. All 3 found the back of the net. And Cassidy almost went down the path. He said, we talk about timely goals and timely saves. He wasn't taking a shot necessarily, but he almost went down the path. Well, if we just had one more save, but
almost
he held it back.
Did.
He held it back.
He wanted to so bad. He wanted to so bad for LT last night.
No, exactly. There you go. But Cassidy was extremely. What a difference a year makes. Last year, Aiden Hill was the one getting those comments. But Cassidy, extremely complimentary, like you said. He sees the big picture, and it's the process before results mentality. He was happy about their defensive effort, but let's talk about the fact that the team was down again, half of their starting defensemen. No Martinez, and kind of a funny interaction I had with Kevin behind me, my season ticket day one bestie. There you go. Saturday I was at the game in seats. I didn't do the media stuff. I was actually in the game with my son Christopher. So good to do that again. I haven't done enough of that. I feel bad, but it was nice to finally do that again. But Martinez, we saw him take that shot. We saw him take that shot in the Avalanche game. I think against Bo Byram, you told me, or something like that. And he was hurt and he was laboring. And I turned around to Kevin and I'm like, if there's one person I'm not worried about in pain after blocking a shot, it's Alec Martinez. He's fine. And then lo and behold, you text me and said he was sore from that. So I just got to wonder, I think Alec Martinez probably has a broken arm. I mean this jokingly, folks. My point is Alec Martinez is a warrior. He's a warrior times 100, whatever you can call that. And if Alec Martinez is missing a game due to blocking a shot, imagine how much pain he must be in right now. I'm sure the Golden Knights maybe decided to err a little bit on the side of caution, but how much pain does Alec Martinez have to be in to even tell the medical staff, hey, I'm hurting a little bit right now. So, fine game by the Golden Knights. And I got some, but I'll let Tony go for a second here. I'm rambling too long right now.
No, it's okay. So VGK themselves have had their share of puck luck, obviously, to build up, this win streak at the start of the season. And, you did point out to me last night when we were texting each other that Cassidy gets awfully mad after wins. Was this one of those games that released some pressure off of this team? because the pressure of continuing to win, I feel, just continued to build for the VGK.
Ashley Weiss asked William Carlson about that after the game, and Carlson handled it well. He basically, kind of the same way you said it.
But in Swedish.
Exactly, yes. And his point streak ended as well. So I know Tony did a cartwheel about that. But
he was the number one star last night without scoring.
Back to Carlson's comments. He made the comment, you never want to lose. It doesn't matter the situation. And he does it in a very kind of calming and soothing manner. I don't know how to explain it. You just got to kind of watch him talk and explain things. But the script of this game, and I don't mean script as in an NFL rigged type of script. That's not what I'm saying at all, guys. So don't say this, please. But Anaheim came into Sunday's game on a 5-game win streak, okay? 4 of the 5 games they won, the Ducks trailed entering the third period. The Golden Knights on the backside of a back-to-back didn't use a lot of energy in the Colorado game, but it's still a backside of a back-to-back. And Anaheim had been off since Wednesday night after playing, I think it was St. Louis or Arizona.
That's
one of those
the
two
narrative.
teams.
It was Arizona, I think.
Yeah. So
that
point being is
that narrative is silly. They kept trying to stress that in the
No. It's not a narrative. It's simply saying that. No, I'm not saying a narrative. I'm saying that the script was
that was the excuse last night.
They did talk a little. They said 3 and 4. I get all that, but my point is
4
here.
and 6, yeah, all that. Okay.
My point is here that you kind of felt the buildup coming, right? You know, you kind of felt that Anaheim's a really good third period team. I pegged this game in my pregame article on Vegas Hockey. Now, Vegas is going to come out strong, not as strong as I would have liked, but Vegas still had a 2-0 lead going to the third period. But Anaheim was finding their waterfowls. There you go, Tony.
Oh,
they were finding their waterfowls, which is another word for a leg for a duck. I did put that in my pregame article. Actually,
okay, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Kudos.
So you felt it coming, and if there's a turning point in this game, looks like Chris is coming already. If there's a turning point in this game for me, it's Jack Eichel not converting on that shorthanded breakaway opportunity early in the third. If that finds and I'm not knocking Jack, but if finds the back of the net, this game's over. Now, if we are going to knock a little bit on Eichel here. Unfortunately, he had his pocket picked. I think it was the second goal.
Mintikov on the carrot goal.
Yeah, no, he got picked. He got his pocket picked first. He had a chance to redeem himself. Then he had the noodle stick trying to clear the puck. So bad puck luck. There you go. Bad puck luck. You know, but this game's not on Eichel. It's not on anyone. It happens. It happens, right, Chris? It happens. You watch the highlights. What do you think of the game, buddy?
I finally predicted right.
I predicted right.
I picked right. Me too. High five.
Yeah, Tony predicted the Ducks. You predicted the Ducks.
That's a high five. Tell him, bro.
Give him a high five. Put a high five up to the camera like you're doing.
Put a high five up there. Yeah.
Don't hit my coffee though.
All right. Okay. So the good to see you, little Chris.
You have to make a weird noise.
It makes a little pop noise when you do
that. The Ducks last night, they had Adam Henrique with the goal.
You see all the powdered sugar on his lips.
That's awesome. I love it. It looks like some of the media members having too many desserts in the press box at the Raiders game yesterday. Okay, so Adam Henrique with 1 goal, Sam Carrick once on a rebound, another on the empty netter. The goal that really stood out, though, was that Mason McTavish goal, which was spectacular, I thought, off of an unbelievable feed from Frankie Vetrano.
Why you go to the front of the net, kids. That's why you go to the front of the net, right there.
Yeah. And then, Cassidy also said that VGK did not execute at the pace that they normally do. And we saw, again, do you blame fatigue at some point, though? Seriously, in all honesty.
Was there some I think it's part of the ingredients you throw in the blender. You still gotta go out there and play an NHL game. I mean, listen, are we going to blame fatigue for the Golden Knights winning their back-to-back last Saturday against the Kings? Now, the Kings also were on the backside of a back-to-back.
Oh my God, that was bad. Bad. They had to come from Arizona. VGK beat them to Los Angeles.
No, and they were 4 hours ahead of them. I get it, but the point I'm making is the Golden Knights looked like they got stronger throughout that game. Maybe at the end of the day, it was the LA Kings getting weaker, and the Golden Knights were able to. Their weakness meter stayed stronger than the Kings' weakness meter. I don't know how to describe that, but I mean, it's not as much about the back end of a back-to-back that gets me, but I think 3 games in 4 nights warrants something like that. And when you take Alec Martinez out of the lineup, just looking at these lines, McNabb and Theodore, they were the top line, but I think they were also a -2 last night, which is unfortunate, but that's going to happen. Theodore is -2, and McNabb was even, so the lines must have got shuffled throughout the game. That's about the only way that happens. But then you have, I lost it already, but I mean,
It's okay.
it was Pahal and Hutton out there.
Hutton.
They were okay against the Avs. I mean, they were fine in that game. And then Korczak trying to come in with a new partner, with Petrangelo's easy to play with, but still he's coming in with a new defensive partner. So, I mean, listen, 12 game point streak, 2 extended winning streaks. The only downer here is the Golden Knights I don't know how the Guinness Book World Records comes up with this, but the Guinness Book of World Records, someone hit me with this on, let's see. I gotta give credit. We gotta give credit, right, Tony? That's how this works in the
and
world.
kiddos, before you start complaining about back-to-backs, VGK again only has 8 back-to-backs. There are teams like the Devils.
So they only got 6 more then, is the better way to say that. They only got 6 more then, but now credit Joe B.
I heard people complaining about a back-to-back last night, it's not grueling travel. It's from here to stinking Anaheim. Quit it.
No.
Just quit it.
So real quick credit, Joe B hits me up, one of our everydayers that follows the show pretty closely. The Guinness Book of World Records labeled the 2008 Ottawa Senators as the team with the best ever starts in the history of the NHL, and I believe it was 26 points in the first 14 games. So the Golden Knights needed a pair of victories to match that. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen, but still a pretty good start. Now the team has some time off, and I think we have an injury segment in number 2, so I'm going to start talking about injuries right now.
That's right. Coming up next, you know what? I think we'll talk about the current VGK injury situation.
Was that on our list?
D-man, it's up there. Injury bug has returned. D-man depletion, if you will.
Demon depletion. Ooh, article. I'm taking that. That Vegas hockey down in 3 hours, folks.
Come on, man. I'm just layups, brother, on the first day of basketball.
That is a layup. That's a layup.
College hoops today. Our update next on Locked On Golden Knights. Gametime is the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. Gametime has deals on tickets right up until the start of the event, and even an hour after it starts. It's the place to find last-minute seats. So find exclusive flash deals and sponsor deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy like here, theater, and, of course, the National Hockey League in VGK. With zone deals, you pick the location, the section, and Gametime will pick the seats for you for an average of 18% savings. And the Gametime guarantee, that means that you will always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section now for less, Gametime will credit you with 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app today, create an account, use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL, and you will get $20 off the first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem with the code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. We are back on Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. Find us wherever you get your podcast, and please make sure to tune in on Fridays for WTF. That's What the Friday, but Friday now seems such a long way a ways. VGK suffering another injury, I should say, to a blue liner, as Chris had spoken about there. When Alec Martinez missed last night's game with that injury, the upper body injury. It was the 5th time, Chris, that he has been scratched in 13 games. Now, I was just going through the lineup there of all the blue liners. Alex Pietrangelo has missed 5 games. Nick Hague missed his 3rd game on Sunday. Of course, we have Zach Whitecloud on LTIR. Only Shea Theodore, Braden McNabb among the defensemen that have played each and every game. And Braden Pahal has played in 11 games. Ben Hutton, 8, Caden Korczak, 7. And so, Bruce Cassidy did speak to this a little bit last week about losing a lot of the defensemen and that injury bug, as you spoke about it, and it's been affecting the way that VGK can play on a nightly basis because you get that chemistry with a regular pairing. Your mic's not on.
Talking about chemistry and stuff. Sorry about that. I was making some really terrible noises with my nose and my throat. So, that goes early in the morning. Talking about chemistry, the team is 11-1-1 right now. You don't achieve that type of record if you don't have complete trust and buy-in of a system. But the system needs to be successful. The system needs to be a system that works. The Golden Knights won the Stanley Cup on Bruce Cassidy's system. So we know the system works. So now it is on Cassidy to keep the players up to speed, keep them engaged in practice, make sure they keep their practice habits the right way. And it's on the players to be able to go anywhere in the lineup. We're basically stressing on the defense right now because that's obviously where all the injuries are happening. A little bit on the forwards, but really the top 9 forwards have stayed healthy so far. Knock on wood, it's not going to last because everyone's getting hurt, and that's just how things happen in Vegas. So long story longer, this is a major credit to Cassidy's system to be able to plug and play. We're not even talking, Ben Hutton obviously is a vet. I think he's 30 years old, 29 years old, whatever it is. He's been around for a while. But Korczak and Pahal, the job that they're doing for this team cannot be overlooked, especially as the season progresses. They're playing, they've probably played with every player right now of the 9 defensemen that have appeared in games. Korczak and Pahal, I almost called him Corsi. I almost sounded like coach there for a second. Corsi and Pickles. There you go, Tony. Corsi and Pickles. They have been on
DJ Pickles.
There you go. DJ Pickles, yes. They've played with, I think, every single player at some point, every single defensive pairing. So, give these guys a ton of credit for learning the game, learning quickly, grasping the situation that they have right now, because this obviously is going to boost their stock when it comes time to, get a real NHL contract. They're both, I think, under 25 RFAs. So they're not going to get, that major payday for a little while longer. But once they do, it's going to be nice. And they're earning every single penny. And if this team obviously win, or if this team is in contention for the division, the conference, and obviously once playoffs start, these guys are playing a huge part into the long-term success. And my God, what happens if this team does get back to full health in the playoffs again? Like, this is happening. We haven't talked about Zach Whitecloud is friggin' skating right now. And we haven't even talked about that. That's how underlooked his situation is. And that's a credit to what Korczak and Pahal are doing. Nothing against Whitecloud. My guess is you probably won't see Whitecloud maybe on Wednesday, but I think he'll make his debut Friday in that scrimmage ECHL game against the Sharks.
The Barracuda. They're playing the Sharks.
The Barracuda are better than if they played the Barracuda, it'd be a tougher game.
Yeah, that would be a tougher game. You're right. You're absolutely right there. Alec Martinez, interesting because with all of these block shots during the course of his career, sooner or later it's going to take a toll. And I can't imagine his body.
No, it's not. Why would it? It hasn't yet.
I can't. His
Dude's 50 years old. It hasn't bothered him yet.
You know what? He reminds me of Mark Stone starting to break down a season ago. That's what it reminds me of right now. Because every shot, it seems, maybe is amplified that hits him.
Sure. No, that's fair.
there's just so much wear and tear on this guy. He's amazing. He blocks every single shot. It was Bo Byram the other night, and it got him on the right arm. And he comes back and plays the rest of the game. But yesterday must have been really sore, probably swollen. And you know what? They didn't need to force it to put him in the lineup last night. They didn't.
No, and I'm with you on that. I'm going to hit one of the next 2 days worth of skates or practices, probably tomorrow, I think. And that's definitely my question. If Martinez practices and is made available afterwards, it's how hard do you have to be hit to tell the trainers, hey, something maybe doesn't feel right now? I want to know what his answer is. He'll probably start talking about the Detroit Lions because he doesn't care about that. But point being is, I'll go back to what I said in segment 1. He must have, whoever that makes the pucks right now, it must say that like on his shoulder or something like that with like all the little like rubber nubbings. We actually saw this once. Me and Christopher went down to the glass for warm-ups or for whatever it was, and a puck had hit the glass. I got a picture of it on one of my phones somewhere, but it literally said like the puck name manufacturer on the glass for a minute there. That's how hard and like how perfect the puck made contact with the glass. So that's what it must say. Alec Martinez got a new tattoo, I think, on Saturday from Bo Byram.
Oh, ouch. It's got to be welt on top of welts. And then talk about the significance of Nick Waugh's injury. He's played in just 7 games right now.
I mean, Nick Waugh is obviously one major third of what we're still going to, at least what I'm going to call the best fourth line in the NHL right now. And I don't have Nick Waugh's stats
They've
in
been
front of me.
sort of quiet, right? I mean, they're not.
I mean, well, Carey's got a couple goals. I think he's got Carey's got what 2 goals in 3 games right now.
Yeah, no, Carrier's doing very well.
Carrier,
but I mean,
good job.
As far as just making an impact or being the starting line,
no, that's
setting that tempo and just setting the tone of games.
I will say I thought in my little notes, like I was watching the game while I was working, so kind of like I have to face forward, as I'm breaking and opening packs of cards, but like how you guys see me look off in the distance, I'm not, just looking off in the distance. My screen is over here right now, so I can see Tony like this.
What are you looking at right now on that side? Are you looking at what the neighbor's making for breakfast, or what's
I got a big wall here, and I can see my neighbor's house. Well, maybe fortunately or unfortunately, but breakfast sounds good actually right about now. What were we talking about? Injuries.
Okay.
Nick Waugh. So,
Nick Waugh.
But Nick Waugh, you're not seeing as much of the fourth line starting games anymore. A little bit you're seeing it, but not as much as without Nick Waugh in there. And what I was going to talk about, Brett Howden, I thought Brett Howden was noticeable, at least in the first period of last night's game. Howden has taken his role when he is on the fourth line, and he's changed it just a little bit. He's obviously a center, so that changes a lot, number one. But number two, he's buying into the fact that he's on the energy line. He's throwing his body around. He's trying to make an impact by, putting someone through the glass while they're eating nachos with Alec Martinez or something like that. So my question is, and this may never be a question that's going to be answered because injuries are going to pile up. Pavel Dorofeev, I feel like, has borderline played himself into the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when all top 12 forwards are healthy? You look at someone like Amadio and wonder if maybe Amadio sits for a little bit and you set up a third line of...
That would be a bad move. I think
scratching Amadio is a bad move in favor of Dorofeev?
Yes. Yeah, well, yeah, I think Amadio's doing so many different intangible things that he's really
and that's right. And he's just getting buried in games right now. That's the only problem with Amadio. He's
not playing substantial minutes, right?
Right, and it's nothing on him. He doesn't get out there on the power play unless there's a bunch of injuries. And on the penalty kill, I would say he's like the third pairing or fourth pairing even that's going to go out there, and you're not going to see the third or fourth pairing a lot. One thing I do want to talk about really fast here, and then we'll move on.
Is how bad the nighttime app is?
No. I've dodged that bullet. I've had good luck with it.
I'll save it for Friday.
Save that for Friday. But
I'll save seeing iPucks too for Friday as well.
I don't got the shift chart in front of me, but if there's one minor criticism, why is Bruce Cassidy like quadruple and quintuple and whatever's after that shifting the first power play unit right now?
Yeah.
Why is there no trust? I'll say this again. Why is there no trust? And this is maybe I'll sugarcoat it a little bit, but this is all a good presser question. Why are we not seeing the Carlson line, Tony, out there as much on the power play? Because they scored a big power play goal. I believe it was the Philadelphia game.
Yes. I was thinking the same thing last night. They definitely played that top power play unit a long time.
He's doing the Jay Woodcroft thing where, if it's a 2-minute power play, Draisaitl and McDavid play for 2 minutes. And I get that if you're in Edmonton. I also get that if you're an idiot coach that doesn't know how to run a bench. But Cassidy is not that guy. Cassidy is a brilliant coach, and he'll obviously have a good reason for doing it, and I'm sure he'll have a great explanation for it. Jay Woodcroft, on the other hand, I hope his resume is up to date because dude's going to be unemployed in a little while.
Coming up next, we'll take a look back. It seems like such a long time ago at the victory over the Colorado Avalanche.
I was going to say that earlier. I was going to say that.
The front end of the back-to-back. When we return right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Hey fans, score right now with the NFL season on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 money line bet. That's right, $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get into the action than right now. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, including point spreads, and a lot of people took that Raider game +1 or -1, wherever it landed, and took it to the bank yesterday. They played with a lot of emotion, Chris. Player props, you've got totals, over-unders, and much more. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon, and you can kick off this NFL season. FanDuel, the official partner of the National Football League. Welcome back. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick, Monday edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Thanks for making us your very first listen each and every day. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Locked On Golden Knights. And the next VGK game will be on Wednesday against the LA Kings when they come into town. I have to ask you, Chris, you were there on Saturday night. Did VGK in the 7-0 shutout win over the Colorado Avalanche, did they expend too much energy in that game on the front end of the back-to-back?
No. I mean, when you win 7-0, it's not exactly there was some physical moments in the game, some, little things happening in front of the net, but no, I know I'm walking into something right now, or I'm setting you up for a comment, but no, the Golden Knights, when you win 7-0, there's not a lot that goes wrong as far as energy
I'm
and
trying
stuff
to
like
find
that.
an excuse. How
about we give Anaheim credit for playing a good game? How about we do that?
Of course. And you know what? It was
I know it's
on
boring.
Cassidy's
I know
radar.
Golden Knights fans hate to do that, but let's give Anaheim some credit. They played well. They're a good team this year.
I know.
They're a
They
good
won
team this
on
year.
the road at
Yeah.
Boston during this win streak. They won at Pittsburgh and Philly, I think, in a back-to-back. They also beat Carolina, and they beat the VGK. This is a
And
pretty
imagine
good
if
team.
Trevor Zegras actually starts doing something. He's playing.
Oh my goodness.
He's not playing good hockey right now. He's playing bad hockey right now.
A sign of him playing bad hockey. They had too many men on the ice, and they said, Zegras, go to the penalty box.
No, that's
like
Dorofeev is that guy, and Kolasar is that guy for the Golden Knights too. But yeah,
but still, he just signed a new contract, and he's been stinko. Aiden Hill, Saturday night, 41 saves. Mark Stone, a couple of goals and 2 assists. One of his goals was shorthanded. Jack Eichel had 2 goals.
Two shorties for Mark Stone.
2 shorties. Okay.
Jack First time in franchise history.
Oh, okay. You never know what's going to come up in this show. Jack Eichel had 2 goals. He's on a heater right now.
Yes.
William Karlsson, 2 goals. His point streak came to an end at what, 9? How many games in a row? Was it 9 yesterday?
It was something like that. It was a lot. Yeah, it was up
okay.
There.
And Will Carrier also had a goal for VGK. So they got some balanced scoring. They don't play the Avalanche again until January the 10th. It's rigged schedule. Rigged. It's rigged. They'll be a different team then. But what's wrong with the Avalanche? Shutout on the road for a 3rd consecutive game. They lost at Philly and Pittsburgh 4-0, 4-0, and then 7-0 against the VGK. So 3 road games, they've given up 15 goals, and they haven't scored. And now they go home, I think, for 3 straight. They start with the Devils. I think it's on Tuesday night. I thought I saw on the schedule. But, yeah, what's wrong with this team?
That's a good question. I think they're going to figure it out. I think that's the layup perspective here. But, I don't know. When things go wrong, like Nate McKinnon, I hate to call someone a baby, but he just has these meltdowns when things aren't going well, and you just wonder how easily rattled he gets. And McKinnon is a world talent. Let's be clear about this here. But when he checks out of games, he checks out pretty hard. And I was handed a memo on the way out. This is pretty cool, actually. So we know the Avalanche had the mom's trip.
Yeah,
they lost 7-0 and.
They had to be tired. Mothers. They had to be tired from playing bingo at Red Rock.
Bingo and the penny slots and all of that, definitely. So next year, The Avalanche are taking the moms to San Jose for that game. They're going to be in San Jose. They want to have a better experience for them. They're not going to,
Bingo.
I don't know about the casino situation up in Northern California, but it's a much safer game. I mean, the San Jose Sharks need to be relegated to like not even the ECHL. Like this is
not
just
the ECHL.
Whatever is like 2 steps lower. Like I
What's
rep
the
beer.
CM? What's the one that you can't have fighting?
The Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. Yeah, those kids will wipe the floor with the Sharks too. Right?
There's no fighting allowed. They'd be perfect.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean,
they could just have arguments off the ice.
And the Sharks probably beat the Golden Knights Friday at T-Mobile.
Well, the moms chirping. Could you hear the moms chirping there at T-Mobile?
I was trying to see where they were sitting. I couldn't tell.
They were in a suite.
They're in a suite, obviously, and they're all wearing Avs gear, so it should be easy to spot, obviously. But we're up in the corner in the back of 217.
I did see them and Taylor Swift. They showed both of them.
Taylor Swift, man, I got Travis Kelce on fantasy and my fantasy team, and when Taylor doesn't show up to games, I get hosed. So I'm a Swiftie right now, okay? I'm a Swiftie. Bring Taylor Swift back to all the Chiefs games so my fantasy team can get going. But Colorado, good team. They're going to figure things out. I think Bednar obviously is a great coach, and it'll take some time. Teams don't click for, all 82 games. We've seen this with the Golden Knights, and if we're going to compare from a season-over-season perspective, this is about the time last year. And it lasted for almost 2 months where things just weren't right for a little while right there. Cassidy's teams have hot starts. They have good finishes. In the middle, sometimes they slow down a little bit. Is that a knock on Cassidy? I don't think so. He's pretty good at what he does. He's got a Stanley Cup, and I don't think he's ever not had a season in the playoffs when he's ran a bench right now. So he's okay. And maybe if the team does take their foot off the gas for a month or so and play some middling hockey, that's okay. That's okay. Get the team back to health, because this team is capable of having a stronger playoff run than last year's team. That's how good they've been, at least for the first 12 games right now.
Okay, through 3 games, where are we at with point total? So VGK now, currently 3 games, 4 points. You had 17 was your prediction for the month. I had 16. And so that's where we're at. But a lot more is coming up, fans. Relax on Twitter. Holy smokes.
Speaking of totals, remember this is the Bedard count. It's still going, guys. So this is, guys, I'm opening all these.
Wow, you had to start the sideways.
So I lost a marker on this side, you can tell. So really fast, what you're looking at here, guys, if you're on audio, you're not seeing this, obviously. But
no, you're definitely
I open up boxes of
it's like a seeing
deck.
eye puck, sort of. If
exactly,
you're
yes.
Just tuning in on audio.
I open up boxes of 23-24 Upper Deck Series 1. And there's a special Connor Bedard card. It's pretty rare, hard to find. You should find it like about every every 2 of these tallies, you should find one. So about every 50 or so boxes, you should find one. This is 100 in the middle here, and that's 20 up here. It's been 120 boxes. I have not found a Connor Bedard hit. So you said something about tallies or something. We were talking about
I don't know
point totals for November. So that's my November. What's going to happen first? The Golden Knights hit 17 points, or I pull that Bedard card. I don't know.
Or San Jose wins a game.
Ooh, there it is right there. There's the poll right there. What happens first? Golic pulls a Bedard, or the Sharks win a game?
Throw it out there, man. We like the attention. Coming up on tomorrow's show, we'll be talking about everything Golden Knights, and the preview won't happen until Wednesday against the Kings, but hopefully we get some injury updates today and all of that. For my man, Chris Golic.
They're not getting anything today. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
We'll get nothing today.
Should be a day off today. I could be wrong, but should be a day off.
You know what? Maybe I'll write some notes on a napkin. That'll be our show. For Chris Golic, I'm Tony Cardasco from Las Vegas. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Locked On Golden Knights, and we'll see you tomorrow right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Take care.